The albatross glides on ocean winds, a symbol of wild freedom. For days, it searches for food for its distant chick. Its sharp eyes spot a flash of color below, a potential meal. With a swift dive, it snatches the object from the water. It's a piece of plastic, a bottle cap, a fragment of a bag. The albatross returns home, regurgitating the plastic for its chick. The chick swallows it, feeling full, but it's a deadly illusion. This is a silent poison, delivered by a loving parent. Every day, this tragedy repeats in remote corners of our planet. Plastic, made for convenience, now drifts endlessly through our oceans. It is found from ocean trenches to mountain peaks. The albatross's silent cry is a warning, a signal from a world choking on our waste. The ocean, cradle of life, is sending us a message. The health of the oceans is our health. The fate of the albatross is tied to our own. For too long, we've acted as if we're separate from nature. The story of the albatross is a mirror, reflecting our urgent need for change. It's time to rethink how we live, create, and consume. The ocean's cry cannot be ignored. Plastic began as a miracle. Cheap, durable, and endlessly versatile. It revolutionized medicine, technology, and daily life. But its greatest strength, permanence, became its curse. Nature has no blueprint for plastic. It doesn't decompose, only breaks into toxic microplastics. Our landfills overflow and oceans swirl with plastic debris. We produce over 400 million tons of plastic each year, much of it single-use. Every piece of plastic ever made still exists somewhere. We stand at a crossroads. The cost of plastic is measured in dying reefs, entangled wildlife, and poisoned ecosystems. We must see the world as a living system, not a resource to exploit. We need a revolution in materials, solutions that work with nature, not against it. We must design materials that return to the earth, not pollute it. Our future depends on intelligent, regenerative solutions. Let's answer the call. In nature, nothing is wasted. A fallen leaf becomes food for the forest. Everything is part of a cycle: death, decomposition, rebirth. Our industrial model broke this loop, creating a linear path from production to pollution. This is unsustainable, a design flaw we must fix. The material revolution means aligning human systems with nature's cycles. We need materials that serve their purpose, then return to the biosphere as nutrients. This isn't regression, it's progress inspired by nature's genius. Imagine packaging you can plant in your garden, or building materials that heal themselves. The circular economy is restorative by design. It requires rethinking everything, from design to our relationship with things. This is a shift from ownership to stewardship. The goal isn't just to avoid harm, but to create positive impact. We have the knowledge and technology to make this real. Nature's solutions are all around us. It's time to learn from Earth's oldest teachers. The revolution starts now. Beneath the forest floor lies a vast intelligent network, mycelium, the body of fungi. Mycelium's tiny threads weave through soil and wood, connecting and nourishing life. It is nature's master decomposer, breaking down dead matter into nutrients. Mycelium secretes enzymes, digesting complex materials on a planetary scale. This power makes mycelium a promising ally for sustainable materials. Its structure is strong, lightweight, and adaptable. Mycelium binds together agricultural waste, forming solid materials. Depending on species and conditions, it can be soft like foam or hard like particle board. It's a living factory building itself from waste. We can partner with mycelium, feeding it our agricultural byproducts. It transforms low-value waste into high-performance compostable products. This is upcycling, not just recycling. Mycelium offers a way to create what we need without pollution or permanent waste. It's a technology born of the earth, for the earth. By working with mycelium, we can close the loop. Nature's recycler points the way forward. Making mycelium materials is more like gardening than manufacturing. It starts in a lab with a chosen fungal strain, often oyster or reishi mushrooms. The right species ensures the desired strength, density, and texture. Next, agricultural byproducts, corn stalks, hemp, sawdust, are cleaned and sterilized. The substrate is inoculated with mycelium and placed in a mold. The mold shapes the final product from packaging to bricks. In a controlled environment, mycelium grows for days, weaving through the substrate. It digests waste, binding particles into a solid mass. Once fully grown, the object is removed and gently heated to stop growth and dry it. The result? A stable, lightweight, durable product. No intense heat, pressure, or chemicals, just biology and time. It's a material grown, not made. This is a new way of thinking about what we create. Comparing mycelium products to plastic is comparing two philosophies. Plastic starts as fossil fuel, extracted and refined with high energy and pollution. Mycelium starts as a spore, fed by agricultural waste. Its process is low energy and can even sequester carbon. One process takes from the earth, the other partners with it. Both materials can be engineered for performance. Lightweight, strong, protective, mycelium is naturally flame retardant and insulates well. The real difference is at the end of life. Plastic lingers for centuries, polluting land and sea. Mycelium is 100% compostable. Break it up, add it to your garden, and it returns to the soil in weeks. It completes the cycle, nourishing new life. One life cycle is a dead end. The other is a circle. The choice is clear. We can design products that return to the earth. The future is circular, not linear. Mycelium shows us how. It's time to close the loop. Let's choose the cycle. The mycelium revolution is already underway. Ecovative Design, a pioneer, grows packaging from mycelium and hemp, replacing plastic foam. Their products protect electronics, then biodegrade in your garden. They've expanded into construction, insulation, and even plant-based meats and leather. The Hi-Fi Tower in New York, built from mycelium bricks, was composted after use architecture with zero waste. Startups and giants alike, from IKEA to small designers, are adopting mycelium solutions. These innovators are building new supply chains and mindsets. The Mycelial Age is dawning, proving we can build a modern world in harmony with nature. This is the foundation of a bio-industrial revolution. Mycelium is just one chapter in nature's library of solutions. Innovators are turning to plants and algae for new materials. Algae-based bioplastics grow fast, don't compete with food crops, and can become food for marine life if lost at sea. Companies are making algae foams, packaging films, and 3D printing filaments. Liquid wood, made from lignin, a paper industry byproduct, can be molded like plastic and is fully biodegradable. We see leather from pineapple leaves, fabrics from orange peels, and circuit boards from cellulose. Each innovation follows nature's cycles of creation and decomposition. The future of technology is grown, not mined. Nature's solutions are all around us, waiting to be discovered. The next material revolution is rooted in the plant world. We stand at a crossroads. One path leads to waste and crisis, the other to regeneration. Mycelium, algae, and plant-based materials are signposts to a hopeful future. This shift requires new materials and a new consciousness. We must see the world as a living system, not dead resources. By aligning our creativity with nature's principles, we can heal and sustain our planet. The journey is challenging, but momentum is building. Every sustainable choice moves us forward. We are becoming gardeners of technology, cultivating solutions that nourish the earth. Let's learn from the quiet intelligence of fungi and the resilience of forests. The answers are rooted in the earth itself. By weaving human ingenuity with nature's genius, we can create a thriving, sustainable future. Let's complete the cycle for all generations to come.